Hey folks, it's Charlie in Westeros here, and I am back with my absolute final pre-Season 6 video since the show comes back in just 2 weeks. I will briefly sum up a bunch of predictions I have for the show thus far, and you guys can certainly return to this video to see what I get right, which is hopefully at least one or two things, versus what I get wrong. I see it as sort of a game rather than a serious video per se. However, before I restate all my predictions, I want to spend the first half of this video to tell you about a new interactive option I will be trying out in conjunction with the upcoming season. Long story short, I found that, especially towards the end of last season, a lot of you wanted to share your thoughts, opinions, and just generally talk about each episode of Game of Thrones right after they aired, before I even had a chance to start filming the reviews on my channel or have the group discussions with the Small Council. As such, this year I would like to have the option to chat with all of you immediately after each episode airs, and allow everyone the opportunity to share their own thoughts and what you all think I should talk about in my group discussions with the Small Council, or especially in my own personal reviews for the episodes. So how will this be done? Well, there is a smartphone app called Thrones Amino that I will be using when Game of Thrones Season 6 airs. Among the many options this app has to offer, I will be creating a public chat in order to talk to you folks for 1 hour after each episode to hear your thoughts and opinions for the episode in question. All you need to do is download the Thrones Amino app and follow me on it in order to keep up with my weekly chats, but of course you can do a lot more with it than just that. Thrones Amino is basically a handheld forum where you can not only talk about all things Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire related, but you can also join other amazing communities and fandoms as well. Personally, I tend to be more of a lurker on forums, so my favorite activity on the Thrones Amino app is to check on the various polls and vote on them, but there are also some awesome active discussions on theories and predictions for both the book series and the TV show, and I absolutely enjoy seeing what others have theorized for the series. I do occasionally post short blogs on the app, which are super easy to create and are automatically shared with other users, and I absolutely enjoy the encouraged friendly interaction between all the users. Also, I want to emphasize that I would not be sharing this app if I didn't think it was something I truly felt was worthwhile checking out, so definitely give it a chance before dismissing it, because I don't think you will be disappointed at all. I certainly wasn't anyway. Last but not least, I will also create a separate blog post with the predictions I will be sharing in this video on that app, so if you are in the middle of watching the TV series and one of my predictions does or doesn't come true, it's also an easy way for you to either praise my brilliant foresight or laugh at me for my ludicrous and stupid ideas. Anyway, the link to the app is in the info box below, but enough of that for now. Let's get right into the second part of this video, my predictions list for Season 6. The Greyjoys. Euron Greyjoy will murder Balon Greyjoy. A Kingsmoot will be summoned, and Euron will win. Yara Greyjoy will escape the Iron Islands and head back to the north, once again, to find her brother. Euron will leave his brother Aeron Damphair to lead the Iron Islands while he will travel to Essos to, quote, find dragons. Euron will likely get there right when Dany is readying herself to depart to Westeros. Daenerys. Dany will be brought to Vaes Dothrak to join the Dosh Khaleen, widows of Exkhals, but Drogon will appear and she will present her dragon as the reincarnation of Khal Drogo to the Dothraki. The Dothraki will proclaim Dany and Drogon as their leader, and she will lead them to Slaver's Bay in order to subdue the Harpies' revolt taking place there. After subduing the revolt, and realizing that there will never really be peace in Slaver's Bay as long as she stays there, Dany will leave Missandei and Grey Worm to rule the city of Meereen, and she, along with her Dothraki horde, will be getting ready to depart Essos for Westeros by the end of the season. The Riverlands. Upon discovering Sansa's escape, Baelish will inform Cersei that Ramsay Bolton has married Sansa. Cersei will then authorize Baelish to bring the Vale army north to defeat the treasonous Boltons. Baelish will, however, take a very long detour via the twins, likely to ensure their loyalty and assistance in defeating the Boltons, despite the fact that Frey is married to Roose Bolton. This is absolutely a ruse, however, since Baelish will lead the Vale forces through the twins with the intention of killing the Freys for the murder of Catelyn Tully, the one woman he truly loved. The Freys will be all but wiped out, and there won't be any Lady Stoneheart to do this act, at least not in this season. Baelish will reach the north at a crucial moment and throw in his support for the Starks. Bran. Most scenes with the White Walkers will be through Bran's perspective, at least for the majority of the season, except the end, perhaps. All past scenes, including the Tower of Joy scene and any scenes involving Ned Stark's youth, will also be from Bran's perspective. Arya. I'm very undecided about Arya's plot. She will regain her sight halfway through the season and become a terrific faceless woman. By the end of the season, she will also be heading back to Westeros, either through her own will or due to a mission assigned to her by the Faceless Men. Sam. Sam and Gilly will reach Hornhill, his family's home. Sam's father, Randall Tarley, will be occupied in King's Landing and will not be there. After dropping Gilly and her son off there, Sam will continue onwards to the Citadel to study as a maester. King's Landing. Kevan Lannister and Pycelle will be killed by the Mountain under Cersei's orders, rather than Varys, and she will likely play it off as an accident. Margaery will feign loyalty to the Sparrows in order to get out of their grasp. They, and pretty much everyone, will believe her ruse. A prominent Tyrell figure will be killed. I suspect Loras. Cersei, by the end of the season, will give zero fucks and burn down King's Landing. No Clegane Bowl this season, not yet anyway, but the Hound will make a reappearance. Sansa and the North. Sansa and Reek will escape Ramsay and the Boltons. Ramsay will unleash soldiers, possibly his hounds in this case, to hunt the pair down, but Brienne and Pod will appear at the right moment for a change and slay the Bolton assailants. Sansa, Theon, and Brienne will travel towards the Umbers at Last Hearth and be reunited with Rickon, who was left there with Shaggy Dog and Osha. The death of Myranda and the departure of Sansa and Reek will only serve to enrage and bring out the madness within Ramsay. Ramsay will bring himself to murder his own father and his mother-in-law, Walda. The two flayed bodies we see in the preview are of that pair. Ramsay's growing madness and Sansa's escape, as well as the revelation that Rickon is alive and well, will embolden the Northern Lords to begin a rebellion against the Bolton forces. The Wall. Without their old leader and their cause, Davos and Mel will inevitably be forced to work together. Melisandre will somehow discover that Jon Snow was the true Azor Ahai figure and will be at least somewhat involved in reviving him. With Jon Snow revived and the Night's Watch already divided over his assassination, the Order will basically implode, with wildlings and Jon Snow loyalists fighting with those who followed Alistair Thorne. The Night's Watch will no longer function in the same way as it used to, or it will be disbanded altogether, as Jon will want humanity as a whole to fight against the looming invasion of the White Walkers. First, however, he will have to defeat the Boltons, and so the wildlings and the remaining men of the Night's Watch will throw their cause in with Sansa and Rickon, especially considering the precedent of another wildling woman in Osha already showing her support for the Starks. Sir Davos will pledge his loyalty and support to Rickon, perhaps becoming a sort of father figure to the young Stark boy. Jon Snow will kill Ramsay Bolton by the end of the 6th season. Anyway, folks, those were just my little short, quick predictions for Season 6 of Game of Thrones. I realize that most of those probably won't come to pass, but this is really just for fun and, to see if I get anything right for a change in my predictions for Game of Thrones. Also, I know I've been rather MIA, but I am preparing a bunch of new videos as we speak, so stay tuned for those. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the Thrones app in the info box below, and I will see you all next time.